Gwent's game board has 2 rows per player, which adds a tactical feel to the digital card game genre. In this video, we'll discuss the row system and how you can use it to your advantage. Let's start with the basics. Each player has a melee row and a ranged row. The melee row meets in the middle of the game board, while your ranged row appears closest to you and your opponent's ranged row is the one farthest away. Each row can have a maximum of 9 units or artifacts on it. If you have 8 units on your melee row and then you play an artifact card there, your melee row is now full. You can't play a unit or an artifact on that row, and if an effect would make a unit on that row, well, simply don't get the unit. The melee row will stay full until a unit or artifact will leave it. This can happen in several ways. For example, your opponent can destroy a unit, but of course, if you want to open up a slot, you can also consume a unit or move one. The end of a round clears the game board as well. The next topic is deploy effects. Certain cards have different effects depending on where they are placed. For example, Yennefer of Vengerberg is almost like 2 cards in one. Play her on a melee row, and her deploy ability will damage all other units by 2. Play her on the ranged row, however, and her deploy ability will boost all other units by 2 instead. Other cards simply have no effect if they are on the wrong row. You could play Geralt Igni on the ranged row, but its deploy ability won't happen at all. Make sure you know which row is best for each of your cards and plan ahead so you don't run out of room. Now about row effects. Row effects are exactly what they sound like. They create an effect on a specific row. Row effects most often come from units or special cards. For example, the deploy ability on Geralt Yrden will reset all units on a row, while Impenetrable Fog damages the highest unit on a row by 2 for 4 turns. Now, what is reach? Some cards' abilities only work within a certain number of rows. Gwent calls this Reach X, where X is the number of rows. Reach 1 is the more limiting case. A card with Reach 1 only affects a card on its row and within one row of it. For example, if you want to use Uncreate Warrior to damage an enemy unit, you'd have to play it on your melee row, and even then it can only reach the opponent's melee row. Reach 2 offers more options. Strays of Spala has a reach of 2, and if you play it on your melee row, its deploy ability can affect a unit anywhere on the game board. Play it on your ranged row, however, and the opponent's ranged row is 3 rows away and thus out of reach. And the last topic of the video, movement and setup. Speaking of Strays of Spala, some cards can move units from one row to another. This has several uses. For example, if you apply Impenetrable Fog to the opponent's melee row, and the opponent tries not to put any units there, the movement effect can put a big unit right into the fog. Movement can also get your units out of danger. Moving units between rows can also set up later plays worth many points. For example, moving all the opponent's highest units to a single row can set up a devastating Geralt Igni. Of course, a wise opponent will make counterplays, and a whole round can center on one player trying to set up Geralt Igni and the other one fighting against it. So what's the conclusion? Gwent's row system adds a tactical element to an already complex digital card game. Make sure you know where to place your cards, use reach and movement to set up future plays, and think about what your opponent might be doing to stop your plan. Good luck and have fun!